Friendship supreme. Friendship supreme. Finding the geek within.
Hey everybody, my name's Michael.
My name's Cleve.
Welcome back to another exciting episode of Friendship.
So,
Cream?
Oh yeah.
Stephanie's not here.
Stephanie is actually busy running errands.
Is that what we call an illegal casino?
Yeah. Or the podcast that dares to ask, if the Monstars were really interested in winning against the Michael Jordan Looney Tunes squad, why didn't they just pick the entire 90s Bulls?
That's fair. Well, one of them was playing baseball. You forgot about that's the actual story, son.
When
You forgot they're playing base. He was playing baseball.
I know. I just don't. Whatever. What are we talking about today, Cleve?
Today we're talking a little bit of Space Jam 2 and a little Space Jam of the original recasting. Ooh, stay tuned. So, real quick, did you realize that this spun off of that fucking Bugs Bunny, Michael Jordan, Nike commercial?
I believe it.
That's where this, like, they were like, man,
Like the whole idea.
Something. Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, Space Jam came out in 96. The best year of the Bulls' lives was in 95, 96. Why did we not just take that roster?
Because he was playing baseball.
Right, but the others weren't. They got him.
That's true. Was Pippen still around?
Yeah.
When did he then retire? Because you know why? You know why? I'm not fucking dealing with Dennis Rodman. I'm not dealing. He's a diva. I don't need it.
I guess that's fair.
So Space Jam 2 is coming out. It's going to be on HBO Max July 16th. It's going to be on there for 30 days, maybe. It's going to be there for a little bit.
$30.
No, it's going to be on there for a little bit, and then they're going to pull it. Whatever.
Why are they pulling out like that?
I don't know. They did the same thing with Wonder Woman and
Did you even notice that Wonder Woman was gone?
Well, no, because I watched it once, and then I decided I'll never watch this again. So
you know what? The real question I have, like, so you kind of, you told me earlier to prepare a little bit for this episode, and the only question I really have is actually, do we have any insight into what the soundtrack sounds like or looks like?
Ooh, no. I know that there's one guy who heavily influenced it that will never see music again.
He still sings. It just
does he, or is I thought he was in jail now.
I mean, he is but he still can sing in jail. Lil Wayne had a whole album in prison.
Not for Space Jam 2.
You don't know?
Oh, I know. Warner Brothers is dirty people, but they can't cross.
They're not Disney.
Because even it, but just because they don't want to deal with conflict. It's the same thing. This is Robin. Same thing. I don't want to deal with that shit. This is too much.
But like,
I don't need this.
Like 95, 96 Dennis Rodman was weird with the hair and shit, but like, I don't think he was quite wedding dress weird yet.
And
or
you
like
want to put him in a
friend.
movie though?
R. Kelly.
Can you imagine him having his own trailer? No, you don't want.
I need R. Kelly to be at least one song. Like I need at one point in time, I Believe I Can Fly to kind of just sneak its way in a little bit.
Maybe if you get John Legend to redo it.
Okay, fine.
But like no, it gets that other one.
Get John Legend in here.
How much does R. Kelly own of it? Because it's done. Like if he's like, oh, that's my actual song. Okay, well. Maybe we'll just name a song "Believe I Can Fly" instead of "I Believe I Can Fly," and then we'll just redo the whole thing.
It'll be a remix, but like that's not even the best song on that album. I got a basketball Jones. I got a basketball.
But who sings that?
Baby. Ooh. I don't know.
Yeah. It's not a big name like was R. Kelly.
I feel like
I know
Quad City DJs was on there, isn't it?
Busta Rhymes too.
I want to say
Non-stop.
That was such a good song.
I hit him high, hit him high, hit him high. And you hit him low, hit him low, hit him low. Yeah. Anyway, so Space Jam: A New Legacy is what it's going to be called. Is about beating the computer at its own game. LeBron James and his son Dom are stuck inside a virtual world.
Barry White and Chris Rock.
Chris Rock was in it. I forgot that Chris Rock was in that.
That's who made the song. I don't understand.
He has like just talking part, I believe. Anyway, Space Jam 2, A New Legacy is about beating the computer at its own game. LeBron James and his son Dom are stuck inside a virtual world. Dom wants to be a video game developer, thanks to his devious machinations of digital goon Al G Rhythm algorithm. That's Don Cheadle, by the way. He's the villain. And their only way out, it seems, is to beat Rhythm's digital baddies in a game of basketball. With the help of Bugs Bunny, Lola Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, and the rest of the Looney Tune gang.
How the fuck did they get into it?
So my understanding is it's a Warner Brothers universe because I've seen a still frame and Space Ghosts in the back.
Okay. And we just so in this world, much like in the original Space Jam, we know LeBron is a basketball player, right?
Yes.
So why did we choose basketball? Don Cheadle's is it a human?
Don Cheadle is Al G Rhythm, so he's like a computer-based bad guy.
A computer-based bad guy that's on planet Earth that knows what basketball is?
Because that's how he knows the internet.
That's how That's how they got around last time, right? They beat the Monstars last time because the owner of the Monstars, big cigar fella, I don't remember his name right now. He didn't know what basketball was.
Right, none of them did.
Right. And so they're like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll agree to it. Not knowing that, Michael Jordan's the greatest fucking basketball player of all time.
Well, you know what? But Michael wasn't involved in it when the challenge was laid down. Remember, they came down and they were like, you're going to be our slaves. And they said, look at them with their little short, stubby legs and short stature. Let's play basketball. And then they came fucking roided out and they're like, oh, let's
get
one basketball player.
And Bill Murray.
I mean, if that's the case, we've got Newman too. But again, what did they really
contribute? Oh, when they flattened him, and then they had to come out and blow him back up, and then it was like a fart balloon.
And they wrecked Granny too, unnecessarily.
Poor Granny. Anyway, sorry.
No,
the super smart computer said LeBron James, let's fight him at basketball.
Maybe he's like, this guy doesn't do anything. He created a school.
He's getting back to his community. He's shit.
Yeah. So things that you probably don't know about Space Jam 2, or maybe people haven't heard. Pepe Le Pew was supposed to be in it, and they cut his
shit.
So apparently Grace Santo, who is a co-star of the film, reportedly offering $100,000 for a copy of the deleted footage of Pepe Le Pew being in it. Pepe Le Pew obviously is infamous for being super body odored and aggressive towards wanting a woman, despite however many times they say no. So in the scene of the sequel, Pepe Le Pew is playing a bartender, and he's pushing on Santo and kissing her arm, and then she slaps it. And they're like, you know what? We're just gonna cut this guy out. But Santo's like, to me, it's important for people to see, young and old generation, for them to see, hey, this guy is trying to do something, and I'm knocking him out and letting him know this behavior is inappropriate.
But it's easier just to say it never happened.
Right. But just saying it never happened with some male that's pushing on you. It's probably not the best thing that we're trying to say to people, right?
Are you sure?
You don't delete it from your brain. You stand up and step forward and like all the documentaries that are like on TV about, people being shitty people. Doesn't relate. So
Fuck you, JT. We take a
right
stance here.
now everybody's mad at him. You know what? At this point, he's made enough money to where who cares if you're mad at me? Anyway, I'm not gonna get into all that. So Pepe Le Pew got cut. That's one controversy. The second controversy is the new Lola Bunny.
Yeah,
I don't know if you've seen
this controversy.
Okay. Yes. So for the people who don't know, Lola Bunny was revamped for the movie.
She came out stacked the first movie.
And
real fucking Jessica Rabbit.
She doesn't have really big breasts anymore. Her midriff isn't showing. She's dressed like another member of the team.
Doesn't have a dunk.
And the internet is upset. And it's a weird conversation to have here because obviously only like the super people who are like want to fuck a rabbit really are upset about it, right? Like
fair. So I mean, Lola was amongst one of my first crushes. I would say Roxanne from a Goofy movie. But anyway,
okay, let me say this. I am not judging if you want to fuck a rabbit. Anybody out here who's like, I will smash Lola in a heartbeat. Because you know what? Drag queen Bugs Bunny looks good half the time.
Oh, yeah.
They do him up. You still got that? But like, what are we upset about here? Like,
so I've actually heard two arguments to this, by the way.
Okay.
I've heard the people that are upset because they took a sexual item away from them. The people you're talking about.
Okay.
But I've also actually heard an opposite end of it, which was interesting. This is an interesting argument that women didn't necessarily have an issue with Lola Bunny being fine. The issue they had was the way that the team treated her. So to essentially take away her feminine qualities and make her dress in a baggy clothes like the rest of them, and that's what makes them treat her like a normal person. Like, she should be able to have curves and still get treated like a human, or not human, but treated normally, and as opposed to we have to like basically brown paper bag you to make us treat you like a person on the team.
Okay, well, you know as well as I do, any woman you've ever met who is well endowed up top has never really been a huge fan of running because it's been an issue. So I've heard. I can't speak on.
I have that issue. So I'm gonna tell you now, my back hurts when I run.
But you know what? I feel like her just looking like the team, they treated her differently because of the looks, right? Like the
Animaniacs weren't crazy about the nurse because she was a nurse,
right?
They did make her smart. I appreciated
because of her medical background. It was
they did try to like kill that trope by making her super smart and accomplished, but
which she was
like Wacko wasn't jumping down like the tower trying to get at her because
right. I just feel like it's okay. I feel like
maybe we should have Stephanie here.
We need that feminine cut in. She can comment. I feel like taking away a sexual, like, I mean, you can still go back to the other movie. Like, you don't have to like only watch this one. And besides her figure, she looks the same. I think a lot of it was her attitude as well.
Her hair.
Did they change her hair?
Yeah, she's
just her ears or what?
I don't know. A little messier up top. I don't think it's like. Here's the thing. Like, if you're so pressed that you're complaining because Space Jam changed Lola from being a fucking pinup model to just a bunny trying to fucking play basketball, like, I'm gonna need you to fucking figure out some priorities in life, because that's not the one to have.
So I just Googled Lola Bunny, and a top tier example is that she is walking away from the camera, bent down, looking back, picking up a basketball. We don't need that. I don't need that. You know what? I don't need my son getting into that shit. That's like, I don't need him going, I don't know how to express these feelings. Like, Fair. It's just, I don't know. It's a weird place to put your fight in, to me.
It is.
And they gave her like regular shorts, or like shorts under her shorts, not just,
Yeah, she looks like an athlete.
Fucking ass cheek out. And also, is there not enough fan art out there for you where this is an issue?
That's fair. Just the internet has a plethora of anything you want.
Because unfortunately, I Googled Lola Bunny, and it didn't take too many scrolls on the old mouse for me to come across some people who've done their own work. I just don't understand. It's just a weird fight. You know what? There's so much going on in the world.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you need to get your priorities right if this is what we're focusing on. What's sad is it is. It is what people are focusing on.
Look, I can't address the racism in the UK right now. Lola went down from a C, and this needs to be addressed. Anyway, comes out July 26th. July 16th. I'm gonna watch it because it's gonna be free for me. And so far, I've only been not super disappointed. I've only not been a fan of one free movie that they've given me, and even then, I let it pass the bar a little bit because it was free. Wonder Woman. So yeah, it's such a weird fight. I could try to see both sides of both controversies. Pepe Le Pew makes sense. I don't want to deal with that shit. I don't want to deal with people trying to come at me. Yeah. Cut them.
I feel like back then, I knew that like it was wrong. I feel like even like watching Looney Tunes as a younger kid, or I guess, like I knew like you don't just force yourself on the cat.
Well, I mean, let's not get into some of the moves that Looney Tunes has made that has not been, culturally sensitive or anything like that. But yeah, I get the other side of it also. Like, I want to show someone standing up to him, I guess. I don't know. Maybe maybe he does it and he's like, you know what? That was wrong on me. I apologize. But I don't know what scene you're supposed to cut to after that. Like, this man admits that he has a serious issue, goes to and then you cut back to LeBron James playing basketball. I guess it's just not going to work. I don't know.
You cut to him going, hey, wait, don't drink that. And he goes and grabs all the water bottles from the women and pours them out because he put fucking roofies in there.
That sounds like him. But you know what? Lola is even in, like, there's a sitcom version of Looney Tunes on HBO Max that I enjoy. Daffy and Bugs are like roommates, and Speedy Gonzalez has this pizza place that they go eat at, and it's like a sitcom.
Yeah.
And Lola's in that. She's a crazy, like a crazy woman, but like it's not super sexualized. And that
this is what this episode's become. Are we going to talk about the things that Looney Tunes has done? So do we want to talk about Speedy Gonzalez?
I don't. You know what? The world praise him. It's his racist ass cousin,
Slowpoke Rodriguez. I was going there next.
Fuck that guy, man.
I saw someone do a TikTok and he had the voice down. This man had that voice down and he was doing the Slowpoke Rodriguez. And
here's what upsets me. Do I know someone that sounds like that? Yeah. Is that cool? Nah, probably not. Because he was lazy and he was trying to sleep all the time. And nah.
Yeah.
However, Speedy, like, was had the support of the community behind them. Anyway, uh, Michael and I decided that we would attempt to recast Space Jam for different sports because, you know, whatever.
I'm doing water polo, bitches.
Maybe that conversation about Lola Bunny went too long. Maybe it didn't go long enough, and we need a filler.
Cricket.
So, yes, please give me your cricket athletes. So the mindset of this game is we're going to go back to the 90s, and we're going to cast someone instead of Michael, and then who the Monstars would have taken over for. I can go first. You can go first. I don't care.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that I need to cast someone as Michael.
Well, it should be good because you were talking about not knowing what to do with like who should be in it and who shouldn't. But to be fair, also, you can just cast Michael because he plays baseball.
No, he's a part of my story actually.
Oh,
so no worry.
I feel like because I don't know a lot of baseball players from the 90s. I don't know a lot of baseball players now. But if Ken Griffey Jr. ain't on your team, man, or he didn't get his powers taken,
I'm talking 90s baseball. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, my wife's like, what about? She'd name off people, and they're all Texas Rangers, by the way.
Of course, because why would you ever know anybody else from any other team? Right. I purposely didn't pick anybody from the same team.
I've only picked. Oh, okay. I only picked one person from my particular baseball team, and I took a poll to make sure I wasn't being biased on this.
Okay.
Don't you worry. I consider Ken Griffey Jr. to be the most iconic baseball player of the 90s.
He had his own game.
He also played with his dad. 2 seasons, I think. Him and his dad played for the Mariners for 2 seasons.
Didn't know that. Weird sport, baseball.
This is a point in time where like his dad steals the catch from him, and it was a clip. It's a good clip. Yeah,
it sounds good.
Yeah, I imagine if my kid was out there, I'd be like, yeah,
put that clip right here.
All the energy I've got, I'm just fucking putting it in there.
What you do is you catch it, then you hand it to your son. There you go. Don't worry, Dad still got it.
Okay.
Son of a bitch.
Would you like me to go first, or would you like to go first?
We can flip a coin. I have no bias.
I have no coin. I'll just go first.
All right, cool.
Okay. See, I like to think that we left off with we're gonna start the same way. Like Michael Jordan's playing for the White Sox, right? And like the aliens land, or Bugs is, or no, because will the aliens land in this movie?
They go to Toontown, and then they land in the outfield, I believe. Oh no.
I think they land at his game.
Yeah, and he just walks out and with the fucking uniform.
Oh, that's right, because they're trying to get him back. Okay.
Yeah.
So we can't start that way. Never mind. Don't worry about it. Michael Jordan's out now.
Cool.
I was thinking for some reason it was the start of the film, and like instead they're like, "Why would we pick you?" And then they move on.
I could see that.
Oh,
maybe when the bro, you can still use it. What you do is when the Looney Tunes go to draft, because remember they just yanked Michael from
the golf club or the golf course.
The whole
yeah.
You just have one of them poke out and go move, and then grab someone else.
Grab the other one. Yeah, I like to think that that's what happens, right? Shit. Okay. So I was battling this a lot.
Okay.
And I tried really hard not to have a bias here. So to appease my wife and every Texan here in this great state, I'm gonna say that the main character, like the Michael Jordan of this, I can't do it. Michael Jordan of this is gonna be Mike Piazza. Okay,
nailed it.
He's a catcher. He's a catcher. I have a huge argument with my wife about this, that she feels that Pudge Rodriguez was a better catcher in the 90s than Mike Piazza. I feel like Mike Piazza is the catcher of the 90s. But because the Looney Tunes squad gets Mike Piazza, that means Pudge Rodriguez is a monster now. Okay.
Right.
So our Monstars are Bud Rodriguez at catcher. And then I thought, who embodies the 90s as far... I don't know if you want stats. I'm not sure how... This is not a sports podcast. So, like, I don't know if you want to know.
I mean, give it to me. Lay it down.
These are people I feel to be the most iconic in their position in the 90s growing up.
When I cast my movie, I said, what are the names that, like, there's no way you didn't hear these names?
Yes. Okay. So, if you didn't know, Mike Piazza played for the Mets, the A's, and the Padres.
Mm-hmm.
He started in 92, played all the way till 2007.
Piazza, right?
Piazza, yeah.
Okay.
He was drafted in 1988.
Mm-hmm.
He was a 62nd round pick, and he was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2016. I mean, he's a big boy.
Let me tell you, it's funny. I don't know how serious I took this. Is there were players that I was like, oh my god, and I'd look at when they got drafted. It was like 1996, and the movie came out in 1996, and I was like,
oh no, I had to make sure that this person not. So there's only one exception, but his rookie and the next following 3 years were some of the best years of his life.
That's acceptable. You had to be showing out by then. That's acceptable.
So my pitcher, and here's the other logic I had, by the way. Monstars never needed a break.
Correct.
Monstars were yacked superhuman beings. So because normally you have like your relief pitchers and your closers and stuff like that. We have one pitcher. One pitcher. And the pitcher from the 90s that just speaks to me is Randy Johnson. And I don't know if you know what Randy Johnson looks like, but he looks like a mullet, like Justin Allen, kind of like the Minnesota Vikings end. Justin Allen. Yeah, like that. He's got the long curly hair. This man, one of the best clips he ever had in sports was he threw a fastball and it obliterated a bird. I don't know if you've ever Sports Center shows it all the time where he throws the fastball and then the bird just explodes.
I'm looking at the images. His arms look like Jello.
He's a tall, lengthy guy. He started in... Hold on, I have his stats. He got drafted in 85, debuted in 88, but played all the way into like 2010. Like, the man had an arm. And in the 90s, he was a force to be reckoned with and through insane heat. And I can't see, I try to mix it up a little bit as far as the people I have going here. My first baseman is Mark McGwire, and it took a lot to pick Mark McGwire.
This pre or
there's a lot of PED users, if that's what we're about to talk about. Bro, it's the Monstars. I don't care. Come on, dog. It's baseball. This is just rampant in baseball. Yo, you know how much it took me not to put Jose Canseco on my team? Don't worry, he's not. I have a better gem waiting for you. Mark McGwire, one of the biggest hitters in the 90s.
White people used to love them some Mark McGwire, man.
And so, like, the big thing was he was always in a race. Like, I remember growing up, and I hated him because he was in a race with Barry Bonds, who is a San Francisco Giant, who I am a huge fan of. And, like, they were constantly competing to see who would get break the record for home runs in a season. Mark McGwire won. Later on, Barry Bonds, did some stuff and maybe beat the record and has an asterisk next to it. It's whatever. It's fine. Don't worry about it. But Mark McGwire is still an all-around really good first baseman.
Doesn't have an asterisk from the 90s.
He's all around a great first baseman, but also just a phenomenal hitter. So, yeah, duh.
Right.
Okay, so here's where I kind of teetered a little bit because my other first baseman... first baseman. My other first baseman, I'm going to have as a DH, a designated hitter.
Okay.
Or a backup. I don't know. Because he also played.
That's fair. Because keep in mind, you're not putting these people in these positions. You're just putting a monster with that person's abilities. So really, they can be flip-flopped anywhere for the most part.
That's true. Don't tell me that because I put a lot of thought.
Okay. Then they have to be, it has to be like that person's spirit is on that spot.
Frank Thomas.
Okay.
Known as the Hurt or the Big Hurt. I'm sorry.
You gotta say it right, man.
Played for the Sox. You know who else played for the White Sox?
Who did?
Michael fucking Jordan.
Oh man, were they teammates?
They would have played around the same time. God, it hurts. Anyways.
My man gave himself a designated hitter.
he was drafted number one.
All you do is fill out the infield and outfield. You're like, let me get the designated hitter in here real quick.
I'm pretty sure this man, if I remember correctly, the stats are a little fuzzy. I don't think it does it show me right off the bat. I'm pretty sure this man won three World Series. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 3, if I remember correctly. I don't have to check the receipts on me, but I'm pretty sure it's 3.
Just comment down below if that information is correct or not.
So second base, I actually needed a little help because I started feeling a little biased because I started putting San Francisco Giants players all over, and I'm like, nah, I know we didn't win the World Series in the 90s, so we couldn't have been that good. So I had to remove myself from second base, and it couldn't be Jeff Kent, and was given a name that I would tell you I don't even remember growing up, but it's Craig Biggio.
Okay.
Or Biggio.
Right.
Pretty sure Biggio. Biggio. Played for the Houston Astros. First round, went 22nd pick. And as far as his stats go, one of the most phenomenal second basemen apparently ever.
Okay.
So I was like, all right.
It's a good guy to put.
You're in. Yeah. Shortstop is the one exception that I was saying that I picked someone that started a little bit later in the season or in the years as far as the 90s go. Debuted in 95. His name is Derek Jeter. He played for the New York Yankees. I hate the New York Yankees. So this is where my unbiasedness comes out, right? I'm picking people that
I think I've heard of Jeter.
Yeah, he's known as the captain, and he in his first so he started in 96. 95. So he started in 95, 96, 98, and 99. Went to the World Series, and they won the World Series in all 3 of those.
Okay. That's good stats.
Not to mention later 2000 and 2001, they also won the World Series, I believe. 2001 might not have. But the first 4 years he played, they won World Series 3 times. One of the best shortstops in the world. I mean, any decade, I would tell you he's one of the best that ever existed.
He's a biracial angel too.
He is, and he's actually a really cool guy. I've seen him do a lot with the community. So
good.
As much as I hate the Yankees,
put him in, dog.
Yeah, he's in. So next one is third base. It's Chipper Jones. Played for the Atlanta Braves. All their stats start to run together for me. Started in 93.
You give me what you got, man. You ain't gotta give everybody's breakdown. You do you.
Started in 93. Phenomenal player. I think his batting percentage was like a .48, 9. 0.4 something, high mid 0.4,
right?
Which is a great percentage, right? I always talk about statistically, baseball, in my opinion, is one of the hardest sports statistically because if you got half of your passes completed or half of your field goal attempts with your basketball, your shots, if only 50% of them made it, you'd be shit at the game. If you hit 500, so if you hit 50% of the ball thrown at you, or 50% of the time you're up at bat, that's phenomenal. But anyways, I know that you get hit harder in baseball.
Guys, Michael said field goal and then basketball.
Well, it is technically a field goal. If you look at the stats for basketball, it's FGs. I don't know.
I don't think it stands for field goal though.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I'll take a second. Hold on.
Comment down below if Michael's wrong. Comment down below if Cleve's right.
If I'm wrong right now, I'm not going to even keep it. Yeah. Field goal in basketball is a basket scored on any shot or tap other than a free throw worth 2 or 3 points. It's considered a field goal. I know. I always thought it was weird. Yeah. I always thought it was weird.
Can we rename that buckets?
Yeah, definitely buckets. All day buckets. Okay,
Swishies? How many swishies did you hit that game? Oh, that's 5 or 6.
The outfield is where I'm most excited about because these are the creme de la creme. As we talked about earlier, King Griffey Jr., hands down.
Sends the chills.
It does. If I had my way and didn't have to appease my wife, he might have been
the
Michael Jordan. He might have been the Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm. But you didn't. But then you didn't appease your wife.
I did because Bud Rodriguez is somewhat involved in this now. He wasn't going to be.
Piazza could just play catcher, and King Griffey would be the Jordan.
Right, I know, but then Bud Rodriguez.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He can't play in the outfield.
Right, gotcha. No, I forgot we were doing actual positions. I mixed myself up.
So Ken Griffey Jr. I call him King. Griffey Jr. Again, I stand by. I think the most iconic player in the '90s. His dad. Barry Bonds, which is the only Giants player that I kept in here. And again, growing up, I worshipped the man, and would again argue that he is a very iconic player. Was also in the home run running for being one of the greatest home run hitters in the world. Broke records. He's just a great player. He's real good. But in fairness, there's a lot of controversy around him because you know
what was it going on in 1996?
Not as much.
You didn't know you're 1996
towards the end, but not like.
Here's my point. Do you think R. Kelly would have made that soundtrack had they known the shit was going to go down in the future?
You're right. Well, you know, he started getting kind of beefy. I mean, just really his transition to the Giants in general was like, oh wait,
was it like
changed?
Huh, that's weird. Or was it like?
Let's look here.
Let's look. Yo, that man's doing steroids.
let's look at the stats real quick. Here's the thing, right? So 1 year, this cracks me up. Yo, explain to me how this happens, right? Okay, so 99, 34 home runs. 2000, 49 home runs. 2002, 46 home runs. 2001, 73. You doubled your home runs. You've never hit anything like that before. Ever.
Dog, pull back some. Like... Oh, like in my head, I would think, I'm doing steroids. That's probably not hitting this hard. It's like if Superman was playing baseball. You wouldn't, if you were cracking him out of the fucking park over the stadium, people go, hey, is that Superman? Like, where's your secret identity, sir?
You just, anyways.
Save it for the home run contest. Don't fucking come out here in games and just... fucking break bats. What defense can you give me for not like dumbing it down?
I agree. I also am not necessarily. I think that the crackdown on PEDs is kind of crazy, but I won't get into that. Like I think that the whole,
for the people who don't know sports, that means
performance enhancing drugs. Sorry. I think that it was so rampantly used in the 90s specifically and early 2000s that like it's tough to like take records away from people when a significant amount of people were doing them. Well, I also like understand the pressure that they go under to start taking the performance enhancing drugs.
I think that, and not to say this is his case, but it gets to a point where people use stuff before it's like, hey, this stuff is not good.
Well, and you have your peers telling you, "Hey, I'm using this. You should be using this," and you're like, "Oh, fuck! Like I got to keep up." And that's a lot of it.
I think Ray Lewis one time used like this deer antler spray. It was something fucking weird, and they were like, "Hey, that you're not supposed to do that." Like, okay, well, now you're telling me, and now I won't. But before that, like
okay, so what's 2001 minus 1964? What is he? 51? The math? No, 41, 45. He was born in 64. So how old was he in 2001? He would have been
You'd be better off just typing in Google how old was Barry Bonds in
2001. 37. He would have been 37.
So
faster. At 37 years old in a sport that at 40 you're kind of washed up. Like I get it. Like this is not what this episode's about, but I don't know. I'm not nearly as stringent and think
there's that pressure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are trying to make livelihoods. A lot of them are pressure from the get-go. Like, I think football players, a lot of them, the most football players who are pressured to sacrifice their bodies early on, not get actual degrees, not care about what, their future don't get me wrong, there's some that plan for their future, but most don't. Right. And they're young kids pushed with a bunch of money and told, sacrifice your body. But we've had this argument before. Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to go down that road with Barry Bonds. But yeah, I think he's a great fielder, but he's also, you don't talk about 90s baseball and not know that he existed.
Right.
And then the last one is purely entertainment value. Not only is he a fantastic fucking athlete, and I hope that he's also on your Space Jam team, because he could be, Bo goddamn Jackson.
You put the Bo on there.
I mean, the man played 2 sports and did it well. He wasn't bad. And I like to think that if the Monstars were to pick someone, like they got Muggsy Bogues. They didn't get Muggsy Bogues because, he's fucking doing just 3
I tried to find my Muggsy Bogues of the NFL, and I think I got someone, but like nobody's going to be the Muggsy Bogues.
No, but like he's just the swagger that you need. I'm Bo Jackson. I drink 5-hour energy. The man caught the baseball in in center field and then did a backflip off of the wall. He's just like, this is fun. I'm here. Yeah. I'm Bo Jackson.
Fucking playing like he's playing with some kids out in the parking lot.
Just having a good old time. But anyways, that's my sorry that I had to lecture about or talk about PEDs and.
I mean, you're the one that's got to edit it. It's your call.
I'll keep it all in. You guys all get this.
Bo Jackson can totally be on my team. He could easily replace. So here's the route I went. I said, whoever's replacing Michael needs to have that last minute game winning play like Michael had, right? So I was like, who could I do that with? Obviously, 90s, one of the most electric players would have been Barry Sanders, right? And then we have the whole, I'm retired thing also, right? But Barry didn't have time in football. I doubt he wants to deal with this shit. And then he never even came back, so that was out. And then I thought Cordell Stewart, because he played for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he played quarterback, fucking wide receiver. He did punts. He was everywhere. And I'm like, who better to make the game winning play than the man that I can put anywhere to win the game, right? But I think, and I'm surprised he didn't make your team because he honestly could have. Primetime Neon
Sanders almost did.
10 out of 10 times.
Bro, I almost put Deion Sanders on the team.
Bro, this man played a baseball game and then flew out and then played a football game. Like, you can't beat it.
Right.
And he's going to have that attitude, I thought it could have been the swagger, like Muggsy, like you were talking about, but he's got to be the star. He's got to.
They did what Michael tried to do, but successfully.
Oh, man. But yeah, Deion by far had to be the star.
He's one of the most electrifying players to ever exist.
Which made it tricky because if he wasn't, he was obviously a Monstar. Like, done deal. So then I'm like, okay, let me figure out what I'm doing doing with the Monstars here. So I have 8 players. I assumed it would be a 7-on-7. We're not doing offensive line, and it's just these big plays, flag football type of thing. But obviously, the Monstars cheat and hit stuff,
Yeah.
right? So,
is it weird that I rooted for the Monstars? Look, they took Muggsy Bogues and Patrick Ewing, and I was on board. I was like, yeah, let's get it.
So everybody's playing both ways except for the quarterback.
Oh yeah,
That's just how it works. John Elway would be the '90s quarterback that I think I would go with. It was almost Steve Young. It was almost Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to use anybody from the same team, and if I used Steve, I couldn't use the next one, which is Jerry fucking Rice.
He had to be on the team,
right? But then I broke my own rule because I put Ronnie Lott in there because the man cut his finger off, and it wasn't even the Super Bowl. So
nothing screams commitment. Like, I'm gonna cut my finger off, put it on ice. I'll come back for it.
Take it. I don't need. What's the nub on the left ring finger? Take that. Emmett Smith, right? Cordell Stewart, just that would be that swagger guy. Michael Strahan, Shannon Sharp, even though he aggravates the fuck out of me as a person, and then my big boy, Big Ray Lewis. Drafted 1996, but there was no question in anybody's mind that this man was gonna fucking wreck people.
He came from the U. It's all about it.
So
we came from Bohard University. Don't fuck around.
The people I almost used. So wide receivers and DBs would be playing wide receiver and DB both sides. Linebackers, running backs, kind of trading out, so on. I thought about Michael Irvin, but I'm pretty sure in the 90s everybody knows he was using coke. I said Barry and Steve, Terrell Owens, but he's such a dick. Same reason I don't want Rodman, the same reason I don't want Terrell.
They are the same.
Terrell Davis only got cut because I used John Elway and they were on the same team together. Hines Ward got cut because of Cordell Stewart and fuck the Steelers.
I was impressed you put a Steeler on there.
Junior Seau almost made it.
There was not a single Dodger on my team.
Mike Alstott. It's only because I respect the man's hustle. The man was playing 5 positions in a game. Like Mike Alstott. The only reason he didn't make it is because, in my opinion, the most famous fullback ever. But the only reason he didn't make it is because he was drafted in '96, and as a fullback in the same year that it was supposed to come out, you don't really have the clout.
You didn't get it yet.
And Lawrence Taylor, who also didn't make it, the same reason Michael didn't, because he had his own little personal shit going on.
Where Lawrence Taylor in? Was it Little Giants? Who was the coach? Who's like the guest coach that comes and talks to him about? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Are you talking about Waterboy?
Maybe it was one.
Where Bobby Boucher comes out and he's like, I try to hit the guy who got the ball, and then unless he tries to pass to the guy and then hit that guy, and then if they drop the ball, I try to score. And he's like, this is why we don't do crack.
You're right. It is Waterboy. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad that I had to reenact the entire scene for you.
I appreciate you doing
it. You couldn't pick it up at any moment.
Remember, Lawrence Taylor was also the spokesperson for Blitz, the one where you took steroids. Do you remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
Like you had to make the choice on the sideline if you're going to take steroids or you were going
to. It's not my kid. Put it back out there
every time. I ain't trying to.
Yo, but the man did snap a leg on the field, so what she regrettably, I can appreciate. Is like, I'm not proud of this, but he did it, and it stays in my brain forever. But yeah, that's mine.
I feel like mine went so long. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. And then Dion, you still got the whole baseball, football player thing. Well, they're like, we need a football player. Like Dion played baseball. They don't know anything about. And then I figured the winning play would be a punt return. Because prime time. And they would all be fucking trying to tackle him, and he would high step all the way to the end zone. Ball extended, hand behind the head, just walking it in.
That works because Mike Piazza was a catcher, so it stopped the winning run at the end at the home plate. Yeah, imagine you just sock someone in the face. That monster.
I'm sure you have plenty to edit. Do you want to put your outfield for the fucking Looney Tunes?
Yo, I didn't go this far. Definitely.
Where are you putting Granny?
Granny's playing second.
I feel like
should be a coach.
Daffy's a good first.
That's fair. Outfield's gonna be the big orange guy. I don't remember his name.
Fair.
You know what I'm talking about? The hairy orange guy.
I can
definitely Sylvester and
it's Tweety outfield. Gossamer is the big orange guy.
Thank you. Let me come back.
Bugs is pitching, right?
Bugs have to pitch. Yeah. You got
Lola on short.
I was thinking Lola maybe second and Speedy Gonzalez on short.
That's a good choice.
On third, Foghorn Leghorn.
Yo, can we talk about how we could probably just walk Speedy to first and then him just score every time he's out there?
The easy strat.
Where's his pitch box?
All right. Just get the smallest strike zone ever. It's the best. Yeah, Lolo could be second. Speedy Gonzalez at short. Bugs pitching. Sylvester out in the outfield.
Is Porky on third?
Porky's not in it.
That's cold.
We cut Porky. Foghorn Leghorn's on third.
I bet you have that fucking rapist ass fucking skunk, huh?
Who did I put on first?
Daffy.
Yeah. Daffy has to be involved. No, put Daffy in outfield. Foghorn Leghorn could be first. Third could be Porky. That's fine. And then at some point in time, one of them's going to get injured. Put Elmer in there.
I don't put it. Wait a minute. You don't put fucking Porky, but you put Elmer?
No. I said put Foghorn Leghorn over at first. Send Daffy out to right field. You got Daffy in right. The guy you said in center. Sylvester in left.
Let me tell you some stars you're missing. You've not used Taz.
Yo, Taz could be a DH all day.
You've not used Roadrunner.
That'd be cheating. Have two speedsters on your team?
Bro, let me remind you, this was a game for slavery. If they didn't win this game, they had to go be slaves.
They're not catching the Roadrunner or fucking Speedy Gonzalez. They don't give a fuck about how this sport goes.
I don't know, man. You got King Griffith Powers out there. You think you can't take him? Does Marvin Martian stay the ref?
The umpire?
For the umpire?
Yeah. You need multiple umpires though, so.
That's true.
Yeah, like line umps and. But anyways, yeah, that's right.
I was just assumed there was more Marvin Martians. Not just
that's
one.
fair. I don't think there is, but that's fair.
We've got cams. That's good.
What?
I said we've got cameras. It's good. No Tweety?
No Tweety, no.
That's fair. What would he do? Catch the ball?
Right. They'll have that comedic moment where he tries to and he goes flying with the ball out in outfield.
Well, silly guy.
He's gone forever.
He's a boy. Also, don't put Yosemite Sam out there. I feel like he's trash. That's all I got, though.
Let us know what you guys would like to, if you thought there was a better sport out there like water polo, or if you thought I was way off on who I put in my Monstar team. Cleve is dead on, so if you tell us we're wrong, just unfollow.
And then hit follow again for all the updates.
If you guys have any suggestions or comments you want, leave them down below in the comments. Make sure to hit like and subscribe. We post episodes every week on Wednesdays. You guys can always reach out to us on our social medias. What are those, Cleve?
We have a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They're all Friendship Supreme, except Twitter has no I's in the word friendship. All I's typically just make it to the YouTube channel. You just go to YouTube and search Friendship Supreme, and we are right on top. We also have a Patreon, which is patreon.com/Friendship Supreme. Donate money and allow Michael and I to get more updated jerseys for our favorite teams.
We did talk about how we don't have any jerseys for our teams at all anymore.
No, only one I have, the man's long gone.
But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode. I've been Michael.
This is Cleve, and that's all, folks.